Hello and welcome to Train Sim TV, and it's been a long time since our last video. I do apologise for that, but what a treat we've got for you in this very first welcome back, if you want to call it, video. It's the West Coast Main Line Enhancement Pack, London Euston to Milton Keynes route. What an absolute treat this is, and just the timetable, wow. We're going to be playing this timetable for our video today. We're going to be running the new measurement train that comes with the enhancement pack as well. But just before we actually get stuck into this, just to show you a comparison. So currently, I'm going to bring up TS Community here, and I'm just going to show you the timetable page on the future plans in a second. I'll bring that back, but just look at now. So original timetable, 690 services. That has freight in as well, if you're going to call it freight. It's just container trains. If you look at the new timetable, 746 services here, and this has not even got a freight in it yet. This is going to be absolutely hectic when it's done, and it's already hectic now. There's trains everywhere. It's brilliant. And now, if I just bring back this, I'm just going to show you that the future plans are on this timetable on this section here. So the remainder of the London underground services, these are a priority. These are going to be coming in. 805 services are going to undertake Voyager services. That's another priority to come. And then it goes down to freight in big capital letters. Lots and lots of freight, including aggregates and RHTT. And no doubt anything else that they can slip their way into there. No doubt there'll be container trains anyway. Railtours, various types as well. Once all core services are in. And a Class 87 undertaking the Caledonian Sleeper services on the release of Oversharp. Can't wait for that one. Obviously when we get the JT West Coast out there, the 87 is going to come into this, and that is exciting in its own mind. All the links are in the description for this pack, and you'll be able to find that down below, as I say in the description. Do go and take a look at this. If you have the route and you're on a PC, this is obviously PC only, do go and grab a copy of it. Unfortunately, if you're a console user, it's the usual caveat that you can't obtain these, sadly. Now, we are going to run on the HST here, which is the new measurement train. This is really cool. I'm really impressed to see that this kind of thing's actually made its way in. But just before we go any further, you can see all the bits and pieces that comes in here. So Pendolino, it actually has the liveries that were in Creators Club. Now these are actually made their way into here with some extra work on there, I believe. These have been done by Daniel Wyatt. So there's all sorts. But I think as well, without going into any too much speculation on that side of it, I think they originally they came through the Creators Club used that made these as well, because obviously they were the same liveries. It's just nice to see them actually come into the actual fold. Now these are actually set on proper services as well, so they're on set runs. So for example, the Pride one, that runs on these services. You go to the Opportunity one. These are the services you'll see it on. I've already ran one last night on the stream. So you'll see it at various times of the day. And if you go to the 350, you see the Eurovision one, which is 104. That's on a number of diagrams as well in the day. So rather than it just randomly appearing, you'll actually see it on set stuff. So no doubt at some point in your trips you'll see it. There's also a Class 377/7 that is on here as well. That's another thing, which again, that's on specific services. And then you've got all your normal stuff, like you've got your 710, which is a damn sight more. There's a /3 variant now as well, which has been made for this. And the other cool thing is the Averos, the Class 805 of Anti-West Coast new trains that are coming. I think that they are actually, to be fair, they are in service at some capacity now as well. But those, again, on a number of services here, as you can see. By the looks of it, there's going to be more coming. As it said on the page, but yeah, it's really, really cool to have. Now we've done one of the NMTs, we're going to do this one. The return is part 2. We're going back to Milton Keynes on this one, so I'm going to stick it on just August with custom weather, because I can change the weather on the fly. Nice to be able to do this in the middle of the afternoon. I'm actually on a week off from work at the minute. So it's very rare that I get to do a video in the afternoon. I'm normally recording these at 1 o'clock in the evening, in the night, sorry, in the very early hours of the morning. But yeah, this came out literally on the 22nd, so it was yesterday. I was going to record the video last night after my stream, but I was in no fit state to do a video after I had a few cans of beer. But yeah, I'm able to do this now. So we're starting at Euston, going to Milton Keynes. It'll be a straight through run, this. Now the pack had a update since I streamed it last night. It's actually now version 2. It actually separates a lot of the files, makes it into a third part of the enhancement pack, and it's meant to help with VRAM tanking. So it's one of them. It's hopefully it'll be a bit better on the around it. It was like a slideshow last night. I have also taken the innie out, so that's gone at the minute. I'll put that somewhere safe. So I think basically when I come to play on the route, it'll be a case of taking it out and then putting it back in when on other routes. I'm just going to show you the HST. How cool is that? Absolutely fantastic. A couple of caveats on it is you can't control the centre height beam light, and there's no windscreen wiper on the camera. Limitations basically on that side, but there is also a nameplate. Look, John Armitt. Really nice. End of the day, it's just having this is really, really nice indeed. This is 43. God knows which one it is. Oh, what numbers on it? To be honest, might be in cab. No idea. Just know it's a HST. Right, so still a little bit of a lag around Euston area. As soon as you leave Euston, it's fine. I think there's a bit of a, I think there's issues with the light bake, and I think the 350s are doing something to the FPS. Hopefully DTG can do something with the 350 if they're aware of this. The door's actually shut. No, they're not. Get the workers back on. We've got the road. We are on the move. So just a couple of things. I mean, you can see all the posters already. There's just looking there like we've got the Frozen musical posters and other bits. There's one for Aldi there in the middle. But there's loads. There's some really cool ones. If you go looking around, you'll find them. Watford Junction's got some good ones. There's one for the Grand Tour, the final, last Grand Tour. One for the road. There was a poster advertising that. There's the NFL, is it this one? New signs here, look. Parcel Point Red Stars in there as well, that's been added. That wasn't there originally. Loads of track workers, just a few things just to point out along the way here. I don't think there's any 805s in at the minute. We might see one on our way. Lots of graffiti. Yeah, these signs are really cool. I'm not sure if they're meant to be more blue or not. Hard to see in the sun, but extra editions, there's tons of them. I'm not going to sit and read the whole changelog because I did this on the stream and I had the mic taken out of me by Mark reading like a transcript. Honestly, go and read the changelog because there's a lot of stuff. It's literally a case of what hasn't been updated on this. Loads of visuals along the route, all the extra foliage, loads of extra clutter. Anything you can expect with the usual style of the route enhancements from the guys at, for example, brought you 5 Circle. Fawx did the timetable for this, as the 5 Circle. So you know the quality you're getting with this sort of stuff. We're on line X, which is always a cool one to do under the fly under. So there's tons of graffiti. What I will do is I'm just going to bring this back over here. I will read out and find it. It's back over here. I'll give you the requirements list, however, because this one obviously is always the important one. So you need to have Goblin Line. This is an essential due to the way the DTG add-on manager works currently. I think basically DG need to update something or whatever. It means it's an absolute must. Great Western Express for the HST. East Coast Main Line for the 805. Obviously the 801 makes it into the 805. San Bernardino is used for 30% of the graffiti. West Coast Main Line South is a must, obviously. And then just as we're going past it, I feel like this is new. This like mural on. Well, I don't know if that was originally there. I feel like that's new. Class 390 as well is needed. That comes either with deluxe or as a separate purchase, I believe. And then there's a load of pack files that are needed as well. There's loads of sound packs that are needed basically. Those are on the actual download page itself. Yeah, honestly, it's like a new route. It's brilliant. I drove this all night on my stream on the night of the release. Had the guy, most of the team, quite a lot of the team were in on the stream as well, answering questions. It was really nice to actually have a natter with them, ask questions, and actually put some faces to names as well. There's some people I didn't realise who actually were until I started streaming and talking. It's mad. Some people that have actually come to the stream for some time as well and finally realise who they actually are. It's crazy. But yes, a big hats off to everyone involved with this. No matter how big or small part of what they played, it's an absolute belter. And I say I spent probably 4.5 hours last night just up and down. I did about 4 or 5 trips up and down the route doing various stuff. I even did guard mode. It was an interesting one. I actually enjoyed that. I did a guard mode between Milton Keynes and well, should have been Watford Junction, but then I missed my 710, so I had to get back on it and do it to Bushey, and I broke that. The way that I left the train, it basically broke the timetable. It was a bad me. But, yeah, it was good fun, really good fun. Be honest with you. So all the sounds you're hearing on the train going past are the sound mod, so that's got the 390 Pendolino sound mod. Fully recommend on its own. You'll be getting bored of just doing West Coast Mainline videos because it's literally, this is, I think the last video I did before this one was a West Coast Mainline one as well. I think that might be with the Eurovision set, and I'll also be back on the route. But to be honest, it deserves the videos. It really does. It's been transformed. It's great fun. It's even got the windows blocked off. Look. It's obviously not got the computer kit in there. The liveries on the coach are very nice. Clear bridge. Just for a little example as well, so a couple of bits and pieces like you can find on the route, so new signs on, like for example Queen's Park there. People put boxes and stuff like that, and extra signs and just tons of stuff. If you go looking, you'll find something. We think we've gone past. I think we've gone past it, but there's a factory somewhere that's got bitties on it. We might not have gone past actually. It could be somewhere up near the Wilson area. Keep an eye out for that because I was quite impressed to see that. But the list of all the change and all the bits and bobs is phenomenal. I've never seen an enhancement pack so extensive as this. to be perfectly honest with you. It just shows how far the modding scene has come in this game in the last couple of years. I would say this is probably the best one to date, definitely by far. Now, also coming around here at the minute, this area is not really heavily laden with stock in terms of freight, because freight hasn't been put in yet. But once freight comes in here, this area is going to be pretty hive of activity. North London Line, there's plans to add that stock in there as well, but until all the core stuff is in that's playable, adding that isn't a priority yet. But as Fawx mentioned last night, that will be a plan. The crane there has been repainted into yellow. It was like a silver galvanised steely sort of colour originally. It's now correct. There you are, McVitie's. Brilliant. That's a decal out of it, it's been put on the top there. This route apparently now boasts full night lighting, opposed to what it was like originally. So like stuff like Wembley's arch will light up and that. I've not done it yet, but I plan to. Also around here, I've had a lot of work done to it. I'm just going to show you back here. Got the old OHL stuff in here, like the old spans and bits and bobs. All the tracks overgrown, bits and bobs in there, bushes and grass and clutter. It's a lot more busier. And again, as I say, when the freight comes in, this end of the yard is going to be pretty busy with stuff in and out. It's not been obviously worked on yet, so it looks a bit empty. Given time, I'll be sitting there watching the timetable updates come. I'll be waiting. Can't wait. I can't wait to do freight. It'd be nice to just do something that's not containers all the time. How are you guys enjoying it though? If you've downloaded it already, put your thoughts and comments in the chat. No doubt the guys will be able to see them as well, and they might, if there's any feedback you want to put through, put in the chat. They may well be able to act on it if there's anything you've seen. Any problems you've had as well, like that. Constructive feedback is always good. Developers always welcome that sort of stuff. Get the power down. This service is 110 max power. It's not a non-EPS working this, of course. So 110 is the maximum that this can do. One big thing that this does as well, because obviously this section of the route is part of the original Bakerloo. It really doesn't feel so Bakerloo-ish now. It's got a lot more foliage along the sides of the tracks and stuff like that. There's a lot more going for it. It really is a consistent flow. The grass, very lush. It's bulky. It actually feels like there's actually foliage there, not sparsely placed and painted like with gaps. I think one thing that Bescott said was that they try and match the Blackpool route's foliage, which is really nice to actually sort of be an inspiration, really. With the way we did our foliage, it's nice to see that people have been inspired by that sort of method. Just gone under the Metropolitan line there. Not sure if it's sort of near Northwick Park, or it's between Northwick Park and Preston Road or something like that. I can't remember what the station are. It's on the way up towards Harrow on the Hill and around the left hand side. So the other thing that was really nice to do, I mean, I tried to do a full session last night without coming out because the RAM was tanking. I had to come out and keep rebooting. But I kept going back into the same time with the same weather. It was nice to watch as the day went by, the lighting changing. Good fun. I've never spent a full stream doing one route, continuously sort of like going through the same sort of time of the day. I normally jump in and out and just pick a different service here and there randomly, so to do something like that was nice. You know, this could be a worthy shot. You never know. Probably not, but what we really want is like every train occupied on a track. Every track occupied by a train is what I should have said there. I don't think this will work. Big cloud. Big photo is a bit broken at the minute. Oh no, it's not. That's alright, it's working. That's just broken the cloud on the God mode thing. That's what it's done. I'm going to put that back in. That might not be the thumbnail. That's just a potential. When you see an opportunity, you've got to take it. Just little things like the little access ramps onto the track and that, obviously, where they can like add on the rail vehicles, road rail thing, what they call them. This also uses the UK ballast enhancement pack as well, so you can see obviously the track ballast is a lot nicer. It's a better feel to it. Something I'd like to do is, I'm not obviously on a video of mine, but just to try and see how busy it is. I stayed at Apsley earlier this year, whilst we were sort of doing bits and pieces around London. And standing at Apsley station, it was every couple of minutes a Pendo went past. So what I'd like to do is actually jump onto that station and just stand there and just see how actual busy it is, how quick the trains are passing by, how constant they are. And the other thing is, I noticed when I was staying there, because I spent a few hours in the evenings, in the night, on the stations, videoing bits and bobs like the freight mainly. At about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, the fast line's closed for engineering works. And this timetable actually does take that into account. There's actually some Pendolinos that are now running on the slow lines at night time, and there's actually a couple of journeys that take about an hour or so, an hour and a half. So it's nice to see that that has been incorporated into this, and it'll be something I'm going to have a go at. Bushy. I'm going to put some brakes on it because you can see some yellows. That has changed, to be fair. I think they're automatic signals anyway. A lot of these up here. They change along the way. So the one thing I do notice is that whenever a 350 comes into the view, it does dip the FPS a bit. 4-car set. I was told there was no 4-car sets on the timetable. There's a 4-car set there. I wonder where that's going. St Albans. It's gone onto the branch. That looks like it's waiting for a train to come through. I'm off to the side where all these big posters are, so you can see I'll actually jump out here and just show you. So we've got the NFL, Frozen the Musical, Taylor Swift concert, Oasis, McDonald's one, and the Grand Tour. I love that one. It was a very good, a good final episode that was, to be honest. Quite an emotional one. I've been a big fan. I was in Top Gear and then moving through to the Grand Tour. That's the recent episode was, yeah, it was a shame that was the last one. I believe this still goes underneath the M25 as well. So just crossing the border to the north. One thing I would love to see with the freight when the freight comes in is, like they've done with the Pendolinos, adding in all these other liveries. I would love to see, hopefully, some extra liveries popping in. Like, for example, Lakers Freightliner livery. Maybe some GBRF stuff as well. Now, Bell hinted at, I think it was Bell on the stream, hinted at Europort livery. So we may see some extra liveries make an appearance. That would be really nice, to be honest, just to sort of mix in for the sea of EWS or DB liveries that we have an absolute lack of. No, we don't have a lack of, we've got too many. But yeah, some extra liveries would be really nice, especially because a lot of GBRF Freightliner runs down this way. It'd be really cool to see. See here is like the fields where I've got all the grass in them and that. And it runs really nicely with all the extra foliage and fields. Very good. So we've got to look out for an 805. Hopefully we might see an 805, and then obviously the other thing we haven't seen is any of the special Pendo liveries just yet. We may see one going as we go north, I'm not sure. We may just about make one pass, because I think one gets to Euston between 4 and quarter past, so we may actually pass one near the end. We might just be lucky. And there is some 12-car services on the 350s as well. I think they're more in the peak service, but there is some there, so you will find them. So we've just gone through King's Langley, heading towards Apsley in a second, which is the station I mentioned earlier. So I will conduct my own tests off the stream. I think, oh actually no, we might have just gone past Apsley already. This is Hemel Hempstead, isn't it? We've already gone past Apsley. I must have blinked. We're just looking at the signage, for example, here. Correct signage fonts as well. New sign with direct trains to Birmingham International on there. That's obviously new, which is really nice to see. More posters. Not sure if they're new or not. There is loads of audio domes added around stations as well for announcements and stuff like that randomly playing. I think all the extra graffiti as well really makes this stand out a bit as well. All the extra bits of all the gubbins on the track side, and I thought the cut was good anyway. Now this route, the big one for me when this route came out was the timetable. I think that was the big one for everyone. When I drove the route, I didn't think, oh, I can't drive this. It looks absolutely terrible. It was fine. It was playable. It had clutter, which it had more clutter than a lot of routes, to be honest. It had more clutter than 5 Circle did, which was nice. But no, this it has obviously pulled it even further forward. Should have been like this really on the release. And in such a short space of time really, as well. from when this route came out, so it's not been out long, has it? It's only been out a month or so. Coming up to 2 months, maybe. The guys really have thrown their heart and souls into this in such a short period of time and done a lot with it. I think there's some other bits they do want to do. I don't quite know what, but they mentioned there's some other bits and pieces they'd like to do to it, so there may well be some further updates coming. But the main one, obviously, will be the timetable. Over time, we'll get further updates. Fawx was mentioning that there's somebody who's quite big on the freight is drafting up a spreadsheet of freight services to be put into the timetable. So that sounds very promising. Sounds like it'll be done very well. Saw some yellow junction boxes on the side of the relay cabinets on. They definitely weren't there originally. I was very fortunate to get an early copy of the route enhancement pack just a couple of days before to have a little look around and do a little bit of testing on things for them just to make sure some stuff was working. There you are, there's a screenshot, isn't it? I can get the screenshot there. Oh yes, that is the money shot. We're having that. We are having some of that. That is, I think, going to be the thumbnail. Get on the right side of the fence. I like that. But yeah, I was very fortunate to be able to have a play with it on the run up. I weren't allowed to share any pictures in like TSC or anything like that, so keep it to myself. But it wasn't when I actually did get it on the first like build. There was still stuff not there, like the special liveries hadn't been put in at that time, and there was a few bits like assets waiting to come through. So they all came through at the just before the release, and it all filtered together. It was nice to see. Well, big thanks for allowing me to have a little play with it beforehand. The annoying thing, because I've had to take the innie out, is now the trees are popping again. Might just try and put the innie thing in just to stop the trees from popping, to be honest. What were the lights on? No. And I've just done that screenshot. I bet there's no lights on it either. For Christ's sake. Hopefully no one noticed. To Photoshop some lights into it. Yeah, the only thing I haven't seen yet, whilst knocking about, was the Pride lever, which is known as Progress. And that's 121, I think. I can't quite remember which numbers are which one. There's two, obviously. I didn't see that one knock about. Although when we looked at the beginning of the video, that one only appears on a few diagrams, so it's not as common as the climate livery. And the cool thing is with the liveries now in the actual app, they've actually got the Avanti logos on the nose, whereas originally when they came from Creators Club, they didn't have the logos on the nose, which was the only sort of thing that was a shame. One thing I'm hoping is when Great Western Express Remastered comes, because this is where the HST is coming from, like the normal GW route, is that hopefully the HST flag might have been updated so it's not so much like a steam train when it powers up. That's a plume of smoke. What's that? I hope that is one of the things that we may see. You just see train after train after train. It's like every few minutes there's something passing, whereas before it wasn't. You had gaps. The big one is obviously, for example, is the overground stuff. I think there were like 90 minutes between trains originally. It's now obviously I think every quarter of an hour. You're not waiting around as long, which is a good thing. About 11 miles from Milton Keynes. Another Pendo, look at that, how quick. Literally, they're just lined up. And the Pendolino formations are all correct. They're facing the correct way now as well, on this timetable. Brilliant. Not really watching speeds here, am I? Just tanking it, enjoying it. The lighting's changed quite nicely just as we've done this run. Oh yeah, 43014 062. I didn't realise the numbers were there. I was looking at the front door, back, sort of like the back door. This one's 062 that are on John Armitt. I don't know what I said, John Armpit. The timetable is 2024. I think, if I remember correctly, the timetable's set around 30th of October. So that's the date it's based on what I remember. Like other enhancement packs, this one actually doesn't require you to actually enable the layer. This one will just work. Whereas previous ones, you had to go into the mastery and actually enable the actual enhancement pack. Not sure why it's been done differently for this one. There might well be a reason. It might be easy for doing this way if any updates come for the main route, so it makes more sense maybe doing it that way. Apologies if you hear anything in the background. The washing machine's just on a full cycle, so you might hear a little bit of washing machine in the background for a minute. Approaching Bletchley, not Bletchley. Interesting to see if anything can be done like AI-wise for the Marston Vale stuff. Well, I don't think we've got really any suitable stock for it. Well, I think it's run by, which were Northern 150 Flash Swans, but I don't think we've actually got that 150 in the game, have we? I think it's a 2 we've got. Well, I think there might actually be freight flows that do go across it, so would be nice to see some bits maybe use that if there's anything that could be added. Just approaching the final destination, or the only destination and stop that we've done for this trip, which is Milton Keynes, where a driver changeover will have to take place. It's a shame Wolverton weren't added on this because it's only up the road. We've done full service. You need to be careful when you come into the station because there is a TPWS overspeed ramp which can catch you out if you're not doing the right speed, which is just before where the red signal is, so it's part way down the platform. You need to be well within the limit, otherwise you'll get stopped. I don't think I've been caught out by that one yet. I have been caught out by the ones at Euston. I've come to the realisation that I need to come in there a bit more cautiously. As any driver should. You don't come storming into a station, do you? I wouldn't do a thing like that. End of the day, it's a single yellow coming up. We should be doing 40 mph is my understanding of it. And then well down to speed by the station, like this at the start of the platform. It's not a race. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. And a look into the actual enhancement pack itself, and what a fantastic pack it is. If you do like what you've seen, you want to download it and you're on PC, do go and visit the link down below. It does work with the Microsoft Store version as well, I believe. It was actually answered last night in the stream, so if you do have the game through Microsoft, you can grab it there as well. That's Microsoft Store version for PC only, by the way. We'll be back with some more videos very, very soon. It won't be another month between. There'll be some more. No doubt with something else for this as well. I'll try and squeeze some different bits in there as well. just to vary it up, so you're not just watching the same thing over and over. As good as this is, I don't want to just flood you with West Coast Mainline, because obviously we're not just a West Coast Mainline channel. So it's this ramp coming up here now we have to watch. It's this where you sort of come level with the building. You need to be doing between just over 10, no more than 15, I'd say. I think it'll get you if you're doing more than 15. But yeah, again, thank you very much for watching. Any feedback or any comments, do put it in the chat below. The guys no doubt will probably see it, and they may well be able to engage as well if there's anything they feel like they might need to answer. Any questions or queries that you want, any requests that you may want to see in future stuff. Well worth asking. If you don't ask, you don't get. Thank you for watching though, and until next time, we will see you again very, very soon. Don't forget twitch.tv/trainsim_TV. Fridays and Mondays at the moment are sort of change dates. To do make a note of that. Again, thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.